contest is a women's match scheduled for one fall. Your referee is Jake Clement.
While the premier women's division is growing by leaps and bounds as the months go on, we saw a five-way elimination matchup in the women's division that I unfortunately was not able to be a part of, but you were. And now we are set for the first of two women's division contests this evening.
Well, certainly saw a lot of great individuals. Certainly one coming down the ring right now.
Introducing first, making her way to the ring, from none of your business, Loveless.
You know, Joe, none of your business actually 3.2 kilometers from parts unknown.
Kilometers? You know the Canada guys were in the last one.
Well, I'm still contacted with Justin Trudeau and Canadian Majesty.
Laura is one of those individuals that's just always, no matter when and where you talk to her, she's always in a bad mood.
Well, it's not that she's in a bad mood, it's just that she's not in a good mood.
I think she's unstable.
You don't want to have her hear you say that.
That's true, but I'm just calling them like I see them. She's very loud mouth and makes a lot of enemies here in just a couple of minutes.
Well, I've seen her make men cry.
I fully believe it. We'll see what she does with her opponent, who's making her premiere debut this evening. Darling has been known to cosplay a time or two. She enjoys dressing up. She enjoys having a good time. And certainly in a good mood here tonight in premiere. One half of the Rumblebees in Another Life. And I believe Chikara Pro Wrestling. And Solo comes in amidst much fanfare. She's traveled the country honing her craft over the past several years. And interesting to see the mark she will make on the premier women's division here as she's a missing link by Solo. I'm not sure what that was.
And you complained about my references. Now, Joe, where exactly is the Enchanted Forest in relation to Parts Unknown?
First of all, I think the missing link is a little newer than Moon River. And second of all, I don't know where the Enchanted Forest is. Maybe it's like a mindset, an ideology. Maybe it's just a happy place she goes to.
So what you're saying is she's nuts.
Well, I didn't say that. I think she's a little bit different.
Blatant disrespect there by Solo Darling. This isn't a place for handshakes
What?
and high fives and hugs.
Disrespect.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to try one more time. Laura is not happy about, well, anyway, let's be honest. Back heel trip by Darling and looking to cinch in her signature maneuver in the early going. She calls it the Sharp Stinger. Variation of a Kamagatami. It's almost shades of a Texas Cloverleaf, a sharpshooter. You'll know it when you see it, BC Steel. It's very, very devastating. And I'm not sure if Laura knows an escape. I don't know if there is an escape for her.
Well, if there's an escape, then certainly Laura Loveless, who's certainly done her homework. Let's see the catch-as-catch-can style there from Laura Loveless.
Oh, no, you don't.
Brisk lock and Laura having her way with Solo Darling. Darling turning things around for a moment. Laura stepped on the foot for a time there.
Well, that is very effective. You'd be surprised what you can get accomplished when you step on somebody's foot. Joe, bring your foot over
Get
here.
away from me. Darling trying to create some leverage on her side. A series of roll-throughs. Laura doing her best to hang on. And Solo. Laura was so busy and concerned waiting for the momentum, she was not ready for the kick upside the head.
Well, Joe, I will say that kick to the head was not catch-as-catch-can style. You never saw Luthez doing any of that. Laura Loveless, actually a modern-day Luthez.
What?
Exactly.
Solo charging in, and Laura hits hard to the outside. She calls that the bee sting, does Solo Darling. She likes to do that a lot with her face and her tongue.
Great analysis, Joe. Are you still concussed? Not to make light of the issue, but...
No, I'm just... Solo Darling's having fun. That's what we're here for. I'm not going to think about the Cogers till the Cogers are out here, which unfortunately next. But Laura Taking a bit of a cheap shot on Solo Darling. Wasn't ready for that one. And now, oh, look out. Oh, man, almost sternum first across that guardrail. Now into the edge of the ring frame. Laura is upping the aggression in this matchup. And look at that scowl on the face of Laura.
Now, Joe, this is very dangerous. I don't want to see, an injury like that to one of our guardrails.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Well, when Laura's around, nobody and nothing is safe.
She's always very pleasant to me. She actually said many a nice thing earlier. I wished her good luck on her matchup.
You must only get the Dr. Jekyll side of it.
She's like Shaft. She's a complicated person.
She's like Shaft. As Solo now attempting for that maneuver one more time. Laura into the ropes to counter that sharp stinger. But there you see, really wide base, low to the ground. She really cinches in tight, though. Solo Darling is very tough to counter. And Laura really had no choice but to go to the ropes.
And now Laura, at this point, unable to get up. So her stance kind of just fell right back. Might be on spaghetti legs here, to coin a phrase.
And Solo had a misstep trying to get herself back on track. Stroke for 2.
Are you sure that wasn't 3? I think Jake Lemon's there counted 3. Give the win to Laura Loveless.
Laura Loveless is going to have to earn this victory, certainly. Check out Solo. Trying to take Laura out at the knees. Solo's trying to take away the vertical base of Laura and get her off balance. Laura just standing on Solo at this point to keep her in a defensive position and is planting her into the canvas any chance she gets.
Well, that's also very effective. Don't underestimate Laura Lovelace's foot and leg offense. Laura Loveless wins, the music plays, people are dancing and everything. That's just a happy time, Joe. Maybe Wayne Palmer could take off that stupid sweater.
Do you know a different Laura Loveless? We're talking about just like happiness and fun all the time.
She is a fun gal.
Ooh, like curb stop.
Get a few drinks in her and
I wouldn't
really loosens
I
up.
wouldn't dare do that. She loses control of her faculties to a no. That is this is Laura with it and in control now. Can you imagine if she's even more volatile?
She's cool as a cucumber. She's a regular Joe Cool in that ring there, Joe.
I don't think so. Does she?
Well, she's female. She'd be maybe Josephine Cool.
Oh, please. Well, she's certainly in control at this point in time. Solo Darling on the defensive, and Laura charges in with that basement drop kick.
Well, she feels right at home in Turner's Hall here in Cleveland.
Well, we've seen Laura here a time or two in the past, and faced some of the best competition Premier Championship Wrestling's women's division has had to offer. I think Laura would love a victory here and cement her status in this company a little bit more, and another low drop kick connects.
Right under the chin at that point, too. Using that hip-based offense that we saw from Solo.
Oh, went for the drop kick again. Advertised it too much.
Well, as the great Gorilla Monsoon said, went to the well one too many times there, Joe Dombrowski.
And Solo Darling with an opening, an opportunity to perhaps attempt to battle back. But Solo is slow to her feet. You can tell those earlier drop kicks took a lot out of Solo. She has had the wind knocked out of her. And it's Laura now pressing the advantage further.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, she took one of those drop kicks right under the chin. May have caught her in the throat. Get kicked in the throat. It's hard to breathe, hard to get your wits about you. Both these women jostling for position. Somebody may take a nasty fall.
Well, yeah, there's nowhere to go from here that feels good as it's now Solo with a hard headbutt. What is this? Springs off the suplex. Nicely done. But you can tell Solo is still in a lot of pain at this point in time. Can she adjust accordingly?
Well, Solo's going to have to rebound as quickly as possible. He was on the hands of some brutal punishment there by Laura Loveless.
Laura in a bad way at this point in time in her own right, but able to kick off as Solo Darling attempts that sharp stinger one more time. I think Laura has sensed from the outset that's been the goal of Solo Darling, and certainly could spell the end if Solo gets it dead center of the ring. The leg lace takedown by Darling. As Laura now being smothered with offense. Solo, you could sense that tide turning in the direction of Solo Darling, but Laura just upping the aggression.
Well, this is getting ready to break down in a hurry. Both of these women are getting very, very angry, and trust me, I know what an angry woman looks like, Joe.
Doesn't shock.
You know, you don't want to get Laura Loveless angry. You wouldn't like her when she's angry. And Solo...
I've never seen her not angry.
Oh, you're just ants at a picnic.
Really?
Absolutely. But Solo Darling showing a little bit of more anger and frustration here than when she came out all happy and slapping fives. And uh-oh, Joe.
Laura is figure forward on that ring post, and Solo taking advantage.
Now, Joe, somebody should help her.
And again, hip-based offense, that modified bee sting, whatever you want to call it. Laura had nowhere to go there. Her hip absorbed all of the impact of the charging Solo Darling.
Solo Darling firing up to referee, firing up to these people. And Laura Loveless is not looking in a good position right now.
Time for that sharp stinger. And Laura may be powerless at this point to stop it. Oh, Solo wrenching in that time. Check out the arc in the back. Check out the torque that Darling is putting on Laura Loveless' body. She has no choice but to tap. The overhand grip on that Kamikatami is really what separates this over other submission holds at work.
Here is your winner as a result of a submission, Solo Darling.
Well, Joe, valiant effort by Laura Loveless, but Solo Darling went to well, quite frankly, a darker place than when she came out here. Maybe she's going back to the Enchanted Forest. I think you're just too nice to say a little.
Well, she's having fun, having a good time. What's wrong with that? Why don't you like fun?
I love fun when it happens to people that I enjoy.
Well, it's going to be fun to see Solo Darling, a regular part of Premier Championship Wrestling. Congratulations on the victory.